Gematria wants to have a meeting with you, Yahki Awaken. Hopefully you pick up the call and tell the truth. Celestial rising, divine afternoon, and grand night to the beautiful divine mirage watching this divine full, I guess you could say divine and mindful message. It's your divine reflection, divine messenger, and we are back with another mindful message. And understand, if you choose to and you enjoy these videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. And as y'all can probably hear, I'm a little under the weather because one of my players from this past weekend, he ended up getting my programming sickened or whatever the case may be. But we're doing all right. You know, never felt better, honestly, because once I feel better, then how better can I actually get when I was already the best? But, you know, I took my herbs, so I took lion's mane, I took ashwagandha just recently. I'm fasting, drinking my water. So that's really the only herbs that I genuinely need for today to help my mind just keep on functioning, because it's basically mind over what I think matters. So my body wants to go to war with itself, but I decided to get up and I was just like, you know what, let's go ahead and go to bed early, but let's get up and let's make these videos. I know somebody's been waiting for me to take down this transhumanism pusher, and today we're here for that. Gematria wants to have a meeting with you, Yahki Awaken. Hopefully you pick up the call and tell the truth. Now the thing is too, I need the trash can to spit. My fault. But now he ended up blocking me. I had to get more space too for my shit, He ended up blocking me, and this was months ago, and of course, if I go to his profile on my Divine Messenger 777 account, like, this user doesn't even pop up anymore. But that's what I like to see. Your false leader is going to block me because they know I know them for what they are. Blocking me is the worst thing you can do. Fell for the bait and had to hurry and cover his tracks so I can see his symbolism. Yahki Unconscious video is done and we posted this week, and at this point, these false leaders make this shit too easy. So this is why we got this, and then boom. But let's get into it. And the thing is too, I had so much going on that week that I didn't even want to rush that. So when I said this week, which was months ago, I wanted to make sure that I could get everything aligned, because you can't just, I feel like when you're exposing people that constantly go viral, you can't just wake up one day and just make a video without providing information or without providing certain open-minded perspectives that are able to help you understand why the person is doing what they're doing. Because if you just go out and say, oh yeah, he's a woman playing as a man, and you don't back it up, but you're just saying things, nobody's gonna really be able to listen to you or learn from you on how this person or why this person blocked me. But these are the questions that made her block me, because I was just asking 12 questions. I think it's 12, but we'll go ahead and count just to make sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. And I was just sitting there asking myself, of course, with the Patrick meme, because I was thinking to myself, like, how do you do this shit? How do you get on social media and you have more than 1 million some followers? You and I talk about the exact same programming, the exact same system that has enslaved our people, what they use as far as the whole entire spectrum that we can cover. So food, entertainment, school, religion, titles, it can be spirituality, it can be anything. So I was asking myself, I say and talk about the exact same thing, but I'm able to contradict that and then go deeper into that contradiction. But you talk about the exact same thing, you don't contradict it, and then you get views for that. That's when I understood, like, oh, I see the dynamic here. I see the whole divided mediator and what's going on, because somebody or something has handled, basically, when beings do that, and now, of course, through my whole experience of even going into that realm and then walking out, I was able to sit there and realize how false influencers or celebrities or even these herbalists, how they're doing that. And they're not only just enslaving your mind on social media anymore. They're doing it through the herbs now. So it's like you're not safe anywhere, because these beings know that if you're able to buy their herbs and then consume them as if you're going to be cured or whatever the case may be, you're not actually cured. If you're going to the doctor and you're getting prescriptions, you're getting medications, you're getting pharmaceuticals, and you're paying for it every month, every week, continuously, where's the cure in that? The cure happens when you cure yourself. Just fasting and drinking water can cure anything in this world, because you're becoming mindful of what you're consuming within your body. Why do mainstream platforms allow you to spread esoteric information when societies with secrets sit to contradict the truth? Why? How is it that you look like myself, excuse me, and then you get on the internet, you start exposing what they're doing, but you're becoming a millionaire off of it? Something's not aligning right here. That means to me that Luciferians are basically telling her what to say to society, so that when people are able to now, because what's the key point I had? To know they program us through the language, and then speech codes for the soul. So now one of the key points I had was, beings will use complex or paradoxical words and knowledge to hypnotize your mind, and not being able to enlighten your mindset, because it's set on a way of how they're speaking, but the way that they're speaking is not able to contradict their contradictions. So you may be able to contradict your thoughts, but if you can't contradict that contradicted thought, then you're not able to actually think for yourself anymore. And on top of that, this is linguistic sorcery, speaking in circles that will make somebody feel inferior as you are submitting to their inferiority. And that's how he's able, or she's able to do that, by her speaking in these, I would say, what's the word I want to look for? So I don't want to say codex, but by her doing linguistic sorcery, or I would say mimic. Let's say mimic sorcery. Yeah, we don't have to do another word for that. I'm going to say mimic sorcery, because who taught her that language? Who taught her that language? So she had to do her own research on spirituality and consciousness. But with the consumption of money, why is it that you're doing things for a dollar bill by attaching yourself with titles as far as a PhD? So, what's the other thing he had in his bio or her bio? Yeah, so PhD in natural health science, certified nutrition scientist, biochemist, master herbalist, holistic health practitioner. Now, by her having these Luciferian titles in her name, so I had a key point for that too. Okay, so now these are things that I was calling artificial credentials, or this is what Luciferians will cloak their ignorance in. So degrees and certifications are the tools that they will use to have a false sense of authority over humanity. Not only just that, the Luciferian systems or Freemasons, they love titles. And that's exactly why the whole entire world is unconscious to titles, because they don't know what these titles are bringing to their false bearing of enlightenment. And they will use these titles to make deception sound scientific. That's exactly why they hide behind these titles so that you can trust them. For example, I know these beings so well because they're in my family, and because I've been into that realm and walked out of it to see what it was like to hide in society right in front of our face, excuse me, by the way. Once I seen that, I realized that these Luciferians who are Masonic, who are satanic as well, they will use these titles to hide what they are pushing into society. Meaning that if I wanted to, if I was to practice being evil, I could go to school, consciously understand the good part of how herbs heal and how they're able to cause a balance within society. But if I had evil intentions, I would go to school, I would flip and invert these teachings from good to bad for my own gain of money. So by that time, once it's all said and done for me, I can get my life handled into social media. And then when that happens, the beings or the Jesuits who put me into position in front of your eyes to go viral, you will now trust me because, oh, I sound smart, or because I'm certified by these universities or these Saturnalian occultic buildings or architectures that are considered to be universities or colleges or school systems that come from Rockefellers and Rothschilds and the 13 royal families. Now, with that happening, you would trust me because, of course, oh, I follow you on social media. Now I see you on different podcasts. I see you on different platforms, your videos are going viral, you're getting billions and millions of views. So because of that, what you're saying is credible. It's credible, and because of that, when people do their own research, they'll trust you, but they're not able to trust themselves on what they're actually being able to listen to. That's exactly why many women who look like me will use this linguistic sorcery to manipulate your ears into thinking that you're hearing health, but you're not actually consuming or perceiving the healthy mind that you should be running, or not running away from, but you should be using to run away from beings who don't want you to become healthy minded. If you are going back and forth, exchanging your currency to become healed by this false light of healing, then you're never going to be healed. You will always be in their damnation, basically. You will always come back for more. You are addicted. Yeah, my body and my mind are just going to war right now, so just excuse me. But let's just keep going. We got work to do. I said, why do you continuously use Egyptian symbolism, which is bonded by Luciferianism and occult magic, if you walk on a divine path? And I say that because, and the one thing is how I knew that this was symbolism. This was early, so 2020, I want to say 2023. I had a picture on my old Instagram. I had this exact same. And the thing is too, I love to be honest because I don't want to sit here and lie to any of my supporters. But unknowingly, before I knew about Gematria, before I knew that my script was to walk into this fraternity and see what they were doing behind closed doors to expose them, I had a picture like this. And the woman, or the fairy godmother who put me on to transhumanism, so this is her work right here. And she guided me into doing my work like this. So this is basically my work right here. And the thing is too, it's gotten so easy that I don't have to do the face overlay anymore. And the thing is as well, not only just her, but she will also have other people that I know as well who would do the work for me, because they know that I will share their work and I'll talk about it because they appreciate my works. And the thing is too, I appreciate her for always calling me a prince, because for me being so young, she understands that eventually I'm going to become a king in this shit. And I'm saying that with, just full humility, because I know that I don't want to wear my accolades. But and somebody, shout out to a supporter as well. I have it on Instagram on my iPad. But somebody DM'd me when I was leaving work today, and I just wasn't feeling good, but I'm getting better. And somebody sent me a DM. His name, I don't want to say his name, but he, or whoever this is, but it was, 4:18 p.m. He said, bro doesn't want to react to your videos though. And this is, like, I can't make this stuff up. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that's what he told me. He said, So doesn't want to react to your videos though. And I said, cause she knows I told the truth. He posted and exposing everything in my video on who she is. And he was like, yeah, you exposed her bad. I see why she picks and chooses to react to. Bro's a clown with way too much dick riders. So it's like, when I'm doing these things, people cannot sit here and tell me that I have no idea what I'm talking about. When people who actually know what I'm teaching, they know that there's no way that I can align with these beings. And I know them. I was born into occultism, so you cannot hide from me. You can't lie to me. I've been lied to since the day I was born. I said that way too fast. I've been lied to since the day I was born. Since I realized that, I have now understood that, you know what? I now see why I was under their trance as transgenders. Literally, I was born into this shit once again. By being a biological male, I realize now why I was the outcast, why I was shunned, why I was bullied when I was younger, why I was hated on, why people envy me right now, but why people who are conscious, why they appreciate me, why they support me. And it's many other people as well who are turned inside out by beings who look like this, and they're pushing and giving you herbs to make you look like this, to keep your hormones in balance. So no wonder why many of the women are actually hyper masculine, because they're not actually being women, they're actually men pretending to look like a woman. And then you see why a lot of men who look like this, who think they have shit like this to get more testosterone, you're not going to be a biological man. Stop mocking my genetic makeup, my blueprint. That's exactly why beings who claim to be spiritual or conscious, they're not actually conscious when you talk to them. They only sound that on social media, but in real life, these beings can never have a conversation with me face to face, because why? I would expose their teachings in front of their face to where now they have to ban me and shut me up. Now, this is a portal right here, because when I had this picture, excuse me, I went back after all that traumatic shit happened. I looked at my profile picture and I changed it. And I was just like, oh my God. Because unknowingly, I was just taking a selfie to look good. I just wanted a new picture. I had a new hairstyle, whatever. So after that happened, I took that pose and I was just like, oh, I feel like I look handsome in this picture. Not knowing that when I got older, I looked back, I said, oh shit. I unknowingly was doing a hand sign for people to look at, and the beings who are aware of this occultism won't tell me what it is, but it'll feel like I'm one of them. No, sir. Do not equate me with your societies. I don't keep secrets. I hate secrets, honestly. But there are some people who told me so many secrets, I will not tell the world that. Because, of course, when I pinky promise or if I promise you, I don't break promises. But I do know, for one, you cannot get me to go into these fraternities or sororities to keep secrets from you or information from you. I don't believe in that. So, by that being a portal, this is a seal from Masons of self-initiation. And the thing is, it's basically saying, I've been chosen. I submitted to a higher order, a Luciferian order, and I control your perception. Just look at it. And it's on his profile picture right now, unless he changes it. And if he changes it, somebody told him or sent him the word. And it was probably one of you. That's all I'm saying. There's somebody who watches my videos who hate me for what I'm exposing. And they'll go back, of course, as a foot soldier for the system. You're going to go back to Luciferian orders or principalities. You're going to report back to them and say, hey, Divine Messenger or Darius is out here exposing Yahki Awaken, one of our most prominent soldiers, for keeping society dumbed down. We got to make sure that we send a warning so that he doesn't get caught by one of his supporters who's watching, because one of you may change my life one day. You may repost my video or re-record it, and then somebody will also see that and be like, who is this young man right here? And then they'll watch it, and then the domino effect of exposing Luciferians will keep on happening every single day, to where you and I are working on the same exact team against beings who look like us. And niggas will say, oh, you're hating on him. That's all it is. I can't hate on my own perception. I can't hate at what I see in the mirror. When I look at myself, I don't see hatred. I just see the perception of an unconscious veil that these beings are hiding in. Life is perspective or a mirror, meaning that, for example, you could see a 2. So let's say we have a line. So in the first dimension, you have a line like this. We got a 2, so a 2, but if you flip that upside down, it's a 5. We got a 2, but then in an alternate universe of consciousness, you have a 5. You see a 2, I see a 5. This 5 is biologically forming itself into a 2 in its own mind, but then unconsciously, it looks like it's a 2, but really there is no 5 or a 2. It's just a mirror of what you view yourself as. Now, the thing is as well, these beings will place themselves to opening up energetic portals that are blocking your throat chakra from being able to regurgitate back their truth, which is basically full of lies. And then on top of that, they're blocking, because of course he's mocking Jesus Christ or Lucifer by having this with a crown over his head, showing you that the identity that he identifies by, excuse me, that he identifies by. Not only just that though, by him wearing that, he's blocking your crown chakra of actually seeing his identity, because you're focused on the look, but not the symbolism. They have to tell you what they're doing. No matter what they do, no matter how esoteric their teachings are, they gotta tell you what they're being, as beings that aren't actually physically here for real. And then once they block it, this signals that they're intentionally suppressing your divinity in the favor of a self-created identity. So when they're telling you that, a being who told him to make this pose to get them going, that's basically what she would be doing. Now, also a signal of inversion. So a feminine deity who is unconsciously feminine, she will mimic the false masculine. When she does that, she's basically the one who poses as an occult reversal. So in occultism, she's reversing your identity by showing you why it's a thinking man pose. Now, there are many other symbolism as well for thinking man poses, but it's not actually quite a thinking man pose, but you're still thinking as a man and you're posing. So it's a symbolism in that difference. They're still similar by that. So the one with the, I'm not going to do it, but when you sit down, you sit back, and then somebody has their finger on their head, Malcolm X, for example, thinking man pose. And if you don't believe me, because Malcolm X was in on it too, like all these beings are, they all get the smoke. There is no saving. There's no saving these niggas, man. Like, look at that thinking man pose. And then look at this. At this point, it gets too easy. Look at the symbolism right here. Checkerboard. They gotta tell you. Duality. Meaning that when these beings are doing this pose, they're showing you that they're mimicking the divine masculine, but you're not able to think about their identity. So when they're doing that, they're mocking your thoughts by holding on to them, by putting a finger over them, because you can't actually see over the finger that's blocking you from seeing the overseers that control your life. And she's mimicking divine masculinity because she has no real structure in her lifestyle. She wasn't able to do away with the lust or greed for money, and the money caused her to start losing her morals. And that's exactly why she will mask this with control and use this to spread unnatural gender frequencies. When you're taking her herbs, she's knocking you down to a lower frequency that causes you to not be your actual gender. Because at this point, when you're taking the herb, you may not feel the difference immediately, but through your DNA, your database is going to be altered. Your database will warn you or signal you that, hey, something is off, something is not balanced, and we have to send you a message for that. But if you're distracted by fame and clout, then you won't know the difference at all whatsoever. And that's the point. That's exactly why, too, they're not meant to empower you. They're basically possessing you to be masqueraded within a purpose that you can't find. When they masquerade this as their purpose, you'll follow it, not knowing that their purpose is leading you off a cliff. Now, also in Freemasonry, this is basically, I am my own God. And Satanism, too, do what thou will, telling you that no matter what you do, I say your gods, all of you. So when the Bible bullshit, when the Luciferian spellcasting told us, I say your gods, all of you, that's exactly the biggest lie that Luciferians have told humanity. When they told our people that, we walked around thinking that we were high and mighty, but you're not high, nor are you the almighty, but you are the partial imagery of what that being looks like physically. So when I understood that, this pose represents a declaration of, I am the master of my reality, and I answer to no creator, but creators answer to him. On top of that, with divine law or universal laws, it's the opposite of surrendering to that almighty law or quantum laws that beings should be following. Now, this posture right here is the reason why many of them have cut themselves off from their own soul alignment. Money is the reason why beings have cut themselves off from their soul alignment, meaning that we were never posing like this. Even with Egyptian mythology or Egyptian ideologies, these beings, so Hippocrates, for example, with the vow of silence, when people take that oath and they do that, that symbolism right there, telling you they're not going to tell you nor reveal to you how they got to where they are for today, but they're giving you subtle, minimal, small percentage and shrinkage hints that are or golden nuggets that will be able to help you see how they got there, but they won't actually tell you or prophesize to you the reason why they were able to get there. And not only just that though, because they function through their ego and occult knowledge, they are able to now push serpent wisdom, and they'll charm that wisdom through spirituality. So spirituality is a charm that Luciferians use on your consciousness. That's exactly why influencers who are spiritual or conscious, there's no debate with us. If I had a conversation with you, I will make you question your teachings that you teach your followers. And you have more followers than me. How's that possible? I lose followers every day. You gain new ones every day. So who really lying? Who really lying for real? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, how they're able to cloak their deception or pose as false light. Many of these beings will see this as wise or thoughtful. And with that happening, that's exactly why they're able to trap you by looking the part. They're looking like a title, but they're not being the title of wisdom or intellect. And of course, they're posing as puppet masters and they're teaching influencers or consumers how to perform power, but hide in the death that's causing you to spiritually decline yourself into killing yourself every single day. These puppet masters, they have taught many people, not only just that, they taught people gestures through herbs, words, and charm to cause the being to want to depend on not being able to heal. So because they're not able to heal, I realized that since you're out of place with your soul alignment, you will use the herbs that pharmaceuticals. And the thing is as well, look at look at this serpent real quick. So the staff, like, just look at what these beings, and this right here. No, I don't like that. Let's go back to, in the medical field, but, so the symbolism of snakes. No, I want that, the healing serpent, snake in a, yeah, let's do that. So the healing serpent. And the thing is too, it's not healing. So look at what, that's how I know my body working too, is I'm over here sweating and all that. That's how I know my body is going through war. I like it though, I like that. But look at the symbolism. Also understand too, I like this because if you, what does this remind you of? I think it's not an EKG, but that machine that keeps people living or whatever. So that heart, it's like a little beep, beep, beep. With that, if you see that, that's basically serpent wisdom or serpentry occultism in front of your face. And medical corps or pharmaceuticals or even the UN nations, these UN nations, these conglomerates, they even told themselves, how are we able to heal demonic energies? And anything that heals us in this world is going to cause us to be cured by false healing. Anything that will cause us to be healed in this dimension is false healing. How does a spirit get sick? How does a spirit die? How does a spirit get their leg chopped off? Or how does the spirit get into a car crash? How does energy feel these things? Who was really crucified on that cross if it wasn't your consciousness? And then on this part, the last part, now with the mind control loop, because as they, by beings looking as if they're higher in radiance, they'll be able to pose an unconscious message, meaning that for one, they're telling themselves you're able to trust them and they know things that go deeper than your own awareness. And because of that, or with that, through alchemy and language and frequency manipulation, they're able to not only kidnap your root gateway and your crown gateways, but they're able to do that as a collective in unity. And not only just that, when you're taking your herbs and then reposting these videos, your auric field is already being hacked. Every time you repost his videos or her videos, you share them, you like them, or you follow his teachings or her teachings, and you just consume it every single day, you're already getting kidnapped. Your spirit has already been harvested by this bounce. So if you watch Bleach, because I was just watching an episode yesterday on Bleach about bounce or vampires. So Bleach, bounce. And if they don't have it, it's all good. Okay, so yeah, I remember this exact episode. Yep, this was, I want to say episode 67, 68, but basically explaining that these beings are the ones that are bounce of vampires. They are. So bounce are living beings similar to the Quincy. The difference being they have a special component that is encompassed by a human soul. Bounce had a unique ability to absorb human souls, making them their own. It is as a result of this ability that I have named bounce at various times in human history as vampires. So even anime tells you the truth. And niggas will say, you still watch anime? If I watch anime, it's me watching my higher self. That's all spiritual warfare is. It's in anime. Anime is basically a two-dimensional truth of what you're fighting against in the 3D. And not only just that though, these beings are in higher dimensions fighting you in the 3D as well. And they're lower entities that have been kidnapped by higher beings or the archons as well. So who really working for who? So when you watch this shit, and they were telling, well, when I perceived it, one of the ladies, and I want to say this is her right here. No, it was her. Yep, that's the first one. Because I haven't seen, I'm not on episode 71 yet, but because I ain't gonna lie, I be working, bro. I just don't got time. But I'm about to, I did this video, I did another video, I'm gonna watch some more episodes. But it was her right here. And she was in the alley, because this is when Ririn, She was a mod soul. She was put into a dog that's like a bird with a hood on. And of course, if you know Bleach, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you know I ain't capping. But she was in the alleyway, and a lady, it was a random Caucasian lady. She was walking at night on the street. She was walking. Her eyes, her pupils dilated, meaning that her solar awareness, it faded from her view or her window of the solar or observation. When that happened, she was walking into the alley in the cut. She was sitting here with her mouth open, singing like a siren. Literally, can't make this stuff up, singing. Once she did that, she had the woman. The woman was walking. No chance of being able to escape from the hypnosis. Her mind was done. When she walked, this being right here, open arms, gave her a hug. Didn't bite the flesh or anything like that, but was sitting here like, once she was doing that, she was harvesting the energy of the solar awareness from a being, because of course for vampires to stay alive, to stay young, to look like us, to look like this, they need your energy. That's all, they need your energy. And if they can't get adrenochrome and they don't want to walk through those doors, they will do it another way, through the herbs. It's like, we can't do nothing without our own people selling us out. And then when you expose these sellouts for selling us out, you're the hater for that, or you're envious for that. How is that possible when they're selling us out for money? I mean, you're fucking up with the herbs. You're fucking us up with herbs too. You're talking about nature. How is it that nature is meant to heal and people have demonized healing? I mean, god damn. That should be crazy to me. If you are against the system, why do you use the same marketing strategy as Big Pharma? Excuse me. Meaning that when you make a video, why is it that you promote the exact same things that, not only just these beings, but the healing serpent? Why is it that people do that? Why? But even just that though, this is exactly how they're killing you. Just through that lower awareness of consciousness. So serpents cannot heal. So why is it that we're trying to heal other people? Through our own serpent wisdom, as niggas, by the way. In the descension, by us even being aware of that, even in Gematria, it'll tell you what nigger or nigga means. But why is it that we think that we can heal this world that's ran by the lower gateway, that's being kidnapped by beings who feel as if they're hijacked at this higher gateway, but are not aware of it? They think that because they think on a higher divine manner or order, that they have order amongst the average human being. No, you do not. That's exactly why Ichigo stepped in. A substitute soul reaper stepped in and said, you're not about to consume her soul. And of course, they're cowards. When you cast them, they got to block you or they got to hide from you. Anime told the truth and people still don't watch it. And I understand why. Because you're not able to be aware of what your spirit was always being. Why do you charge high prices when nature heals for free? Why do you use slick language with vague explanations that sound intelligent instead of contradicting the contradictions of what science never taught us? Who taught us science when science does not come from us? We never needed science to learn, so why are we learning science in schools? Niggas think gravity is a real thing when gravity is just a force that keeps you stuck or grounded into what you're supposed to be higher in. Like, stop it. If you are exposing the elite, then why does your hand symbolism, master gestures, hidden societies use to find one of their own inverts? And I think it's too, because the thing is as well, it's a difference between you knowing what you're doing and you still doing it. I didn't even know that that pose was tied to occultic bloodlines, and nobody told me that. Once I learned it, I said, I'm done. I'm not keeping that same exact profile picture. What kind of nigga would I be to do some shit like that? That'd be dumb. When I changed it, I realized, oh, that's basically how sentients are aware of who's one of their own or who's tied into that allegiance, not me. Why does your hidden movements move like a cult than an authentic healing practice? If you are exposing the system, why do you operate within it, using banks, business licenses, and social media algorithms that favor control opposition? If you truly have the secret to immortality, why do all master healers eventually age, get sick, and transcend like everyone else? I'm just asking questions, by the way. How is it that you're able to provide healing properties, but yet we still can't be healed properly? On property that doesn't even belong to us. A disease is caused by consciousness and not germs. Why do your herbs matter at all? Shouldn't mindset alone heal people? Why are we not teaching mindset? Why are we pushing and promoting herbs that don't come from you, but they were handled by Big Pharma? I know what you work for. You can't hide from me, my nigga. Why do secret societies let you reach millions when real truth speakers get silenced or banned? I've been banned on TikTok 6 times. My new account right now has 3 followers. And I ain't gonna lie, we gonna still keep posting on there. It's crazy. How is it that you and I talk about the exact same shit, but yet you're not banned or shadow banned, excuse me? Why do all these so-called awakened herbalists follow the same pattern, gaining fame, making millions, and vanishing when they are exposed? I don't expect anybody to answer these questions. That's like why I was talking, and I tagged this nigga, deliberately saying, Gematria wants to have a meeting with you. Hopefully you pick up the call and tell the truth. But of course, when I said that and tagged him in it, I looked, and he's seen the message too. He's seen this shit, obviously. On top of that, somebody even DM'd me and was like, he sent him a message in like a robot or an answering machine gave him this message that it will give to other people as well. And when I seen that, or when I heard that on Instagram, I looked and I was just like, you don't even run your own account. Somebody who DM'd him about some type of herb, an answering machine gave him a robotic response. And that's when I was like, dog, you don't even have control of your own account. So are you even a real person for real? Because what is a real person now? Who is masquerading as this? A doctor. And then you're using Elohim as if Elohim would be the one healing people. Why would a title heal anybody in this world besides itself? So are you really healed? Because what is healing now? When you can't even heal your truth. And of course, the symbolism right here. So androgynous look to exhibit transverted traits. And look at the symbolism right here for the transgender flag and all that is exactly what they use. And of course, out of all the pictures you could have stood in front of, you decided to stand in front of what you were turned inside out into being. Hairstyle mimicking the idol worship of the Baphomet iconography. Inverting the crown chakra redirects conscious energy into an unconscious agenda. Dreadlocks mimicking the Baphomet horn silently is still false alignment, and he has to show you to avoid karma. Blue is used for water, knowledge, and hidden communication and hidden logics. Can't make this stuff up. Red is used for fire, water on the mind, and sacrifices something in blood to gain more fame and attention. But what did she sacrifice for fame and attention? A lot of these people cannot bear to sit with their thoughts in silence. So when they do that, the willpower of passion or compassion for wanting to teach is the reason why they will keep on teaching false enlightenment on social media. And then because of blue as well, excuse me again, confirmation. But because she's standing in front of blue, which is used for water, so I want to go back to that because, for example, I mentioned as well that birds are technically swimming and we're technically floating or levitating underwater. So when you're driving, you're not actually on the road, but you're just levitating within the water or the spirit of what you're driving yourself into. You're not actually talking, but you're just making bubbles or sound bubbles that create thoughts that don't have a bubble to resemble what you're saying or how you're saying it. And on top of that, what you see, you're basically a fish underwater. So it's like, do fish see water or are they just seeing air? Like, what does a fish see? What does the fish perceive that it's swimming in? Is a fish actually walking or is it just swimming? What is it really doing for real? Now, and then that's how they're able to communicate. So when they stand in front of different symbolisms and they do different hand signs, the beings who handle them, their lifestyle, they're basically just telling them like, hey, I'm showing my allegiance. This is how you know them a part of y'all. I just want to show y'all, you know, what it is. And some people don't know, but they got to tell you what they know. So when a Freemason or at a higher degree sees this, they'll be like, he's one of us. They'll like it and they'll share it. And then they'll get other Freemasons to see and be like, oh, okay, this is Yahki Awake. He's one of us. Get this young brother into a lodge or whatever. And when that happens, we'll now be able to grant him some stability in life, that can promote him to keep society under our mind control. Gold and yellow is used for the sun bearing false light through enlightenment and their agenda manifesting into deception. So with gold or yellow bearing false enlightenment, and the thing is as well, I forgot what this is called, but even the symbolism, by them inverting that, they're showing you that what they know is a false way of teaching themselves. They used to become, or they were conscious of the things that are going on. But once the money started coming in, they said, man, fuck the community, fuck the people. I'm doing this shit for me and my lineage. That's how people think. When money starts coming in, they don't care about you anymore. Anybody who's conscious, that like once that YouTube check comes in, once the entrepreneurship business comes in, once the herbs start getting promoted, once the clothes start selling and all that, once the music starts selling, once lies sell at a higher manner than what they're able to remember, they will now remember what they did it for themselves the whole entire time. Selfish. Occult false leaders will wear gold accessories for symbolism in their spiritual ranking system. In societies with secrets, it represents false enlightenment and the idealization of material possessions over divine understanding of the quantum mission. Beings that push agendas will flaunt gold, showing that they are foot soldiers for the system. Why? What's the difference between the chains that we are enslaved in and the chains that we are enslaved in? What's the difference? Slavery was never abolished and it never was did away with. It just took a new form, a new shape, it took a new color that we follow still. What's the difference? Not much at all. People still wear this mentally, and when they wear it, they think that people who really know about this shit, like we're just supposed to sit back and be like, ah, man, you're just a great influencer. I like your teachings, bro. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. I see you for what you are. Kitchen in the background represents alchemy and transmutation. Precise location is a message saying he's an abiding spell that requires science, transformation, transhumanism, cooking alchemy, and transferring energy to higher powers for profit from average consumers. He pushes herbalism as a control mechanism and will redirect ancient knowledge and tie it into his co-workers, the pharmaceutical industry. He's using plant-based medicine to gain more from your sickness or health. And to be honest with you, if I was evil, it would be genius. But because I have loving intentions, I cannot stand to see this shit. I'm sorry, but I don't apologize. Like, if I was to do this shit, do you know how much money I would make off of you? It's not that hard. But why would I do it when I know that I would have to pay for it in the afterlife? Which is right now. I refuse. Hand signs are silent symbols for other brothers doing the same agenda. The V hand symbol, or the two fingers pointing down, represent as above, so below, which is connected. Once again, that's that perspective right there with the 2 and the 5, which is connected from Hermeticism, meaning his ignorance mirrors the spiritual world. If you're ignorant physically, you're ignorant spiritually, meaning that you have a lot of work to do. And of course, we can see why a lot of work has to be done. Not only just that, the all black is literally just a portal. A divided portal that's conquering her mindset to where she thinks that, and look at her stance. But this portal is showing you that her darkest thoughts will come to light when a being who knows what they're doing, they'll be able to see why they're doing it and how they're able to do it and why the masses cannot see through it. You can't see through a black hole till somebody decides to reel themselves in that black hole. Research what's going on mentally by being mindful, and then once they research it, they come back out of that rabbit hole and they tell you what's going on down in that realm. They will flash these hand signs to show their kind that work for the same system that the masses doesn't care to learn about. All black outfit, political figures, mainstream influencers, CEOs, etc. wear all black during rituals or ceremonies for their initiation into an ascending actor. Black absorbs all light, meaning he thinks he has control through herbs over your knowledge in his unaware state of his mindset. He's acting as a gatekeeper for hidden wisdom. Can make this stuff up. So if you want to be able to spot one, just go back with this video, pause it, and look at the symbolism. It's not that hard to tell. Okay, and what else we got here? Oh yeah, shout out to you for reposting this video. And of course, this is from my Instagram. If you do follow my Instagram, I already got this video up, or this picture up, but so as you can see, I always repost my support, or my supporters, I should say. I don't see anybody as a fan. That shit weird. All right. Oh, but see, now before I do that, do I want to do the, yeah, let me go ahead and just do that. Let me not be lazy. Because I don't want to do a part 2 on this shit. I want to be able to deplete this spirit, get it away with, and then expose the next one. So B-Dell, Arcades Can See, shit, Charleston White, Dr. Umar, Rel Chosen. There's so many different, oh yeah, Ariel the Official. There's so many spiritual beings that I'm going to expose. Y'all can't run away from my thoughts. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, not all herbs heal. Some hijack your spirit into not being healed. Nature gave us herbs for healing the mind, but when they're tampered with, over-marketed, or consumed in imbalance, they will alter your hormonal blueprint. Some products are quietly designed to decrease testosterone or increase estrogen, keeping men docile or soft and women hardened. And we already explained that as well. So basically, I just want to go ahead and just skim through this because at this point, it's self-explanatory, really. Now, if I over-explain it, it's because I just want to be able to contradict my knowledge and become more aware of how smart I never was, honestly. I basically choose to be dumb so that I can just relearn different things that are helping me awaken myself through you. But yeah, but not all these herbs will heal. A lot of them are just hijacking your spirit, and when that happens, you're going to constantly pay for non-healing frequencies that are going to make sure that they are manipulating your genetic blueprint. And somebody will probably be like, so what herbs do you recommend? Truth be told, I take ashwagandha. I fast as well. Black seed oil, lion's mane, and then iron, magnesium, multivitamins. So like, I know, I don't want to say, not DO2. That's not even, no. Fish oil, and it was something else, but yeah, there's many other, like those are the herbs that I would take. But for me, not I want to, but I take herbs that heal the mind. Like they get the mind deconstructed, they get the mind moving. That's what I do. But honestly, a herb that I recommend is fasting. I mean fasting, just don't eat for a day. So for example, by me drinking a gallon of water, by me not eating anything, I'm able to now flush out the toxins that were transmitted onto me. He is planning to keep feminizing the masculine through health trends by marketing health tactics to get people reeled into his pyramid scheme. Herbs such as soy, lavender, flaxseed, tungat, ali, tribulus, and red clover are praised as healthy but are loaded with phytoestrogens that can alter the genetic makeup if used for imbalance. So I was going to look it up together too, because I know somebody hasn't researched that word before. And of course, Google is not the best source, but I love to contradict Google because Google is our algorithm. A naturally occurring plant compounds that have a similar chemical structure to human estrogen. Let's see here. Which gives them the ability to cause estrogen-like effects on the body. And so with the examples, isoflavones from soy, lentils, and legumes. Lignans from flaxseed, cereal grain, and vegetables. Comestans from red clover, sunflower seeds, and bean sprouts. What do they do to the body? So they mimic or block the effects of estrogen in the body. They may have both estrogenic and anti-estrogenic effects, meaning they can increase or decrease estrogen levels depending on the specific phytoestrogen and the individual. I'm telling you right there. So if a lot of men are taking his herbs, I'm not surprised if you are a woman. When taken consistently, they can feminize men, confuse hormone signaling, and weaken the assertive energy that protects spiritual awareness. Herbal leaders are cloud puppets, not healers. Many spiritual influencers push and teach trends without knowing the deeper science or having it modified in their handled lifestyle. Some are knowingly placed to distract truth reminders. They are making spirituality about comfort and a mockery and not about transformation. Because if we're going to transmute spirituality, we got to become conscious of Satanism, masqueraded as spirituality. And then once you contradict consciousness and spirituality, then you observe both of them still being satanic in their works. Their one goal for humanity is to pacify the awakened by being dependent on their supplements. Why be dependent on something that you're paying for when you can heal yourself for free? That's all I'm asking. If you can heal yourself for free, then why are you paying for healing when you still can't be healed? You're going to still die. You're not going to escape from your death or your phase of what death is experiencing through you. You can't escape the Grim Reaper, so why are you running from it, from trying to heal from supplements that can't heal themselves? Why are we taking herbs that can't heal themselves? Authentic masculine herbs are silenced or shamed by transhumanism pushers. Authentic masculine, yep, okay. Dominant herbs like shilajit, pine pollen, nettle root, lion's mane, and ashwagandha that do great with boosting testosterone while repairing the DNA, and maca root as well. While repairing the DNA are dismissed as too intense or toxic. The cowardly system fears men that continue to feel strong, focused, and liberated from normalized pharmaceuticals that don't do much. A lot of these herbs won't do anything for you. They just make you feel good because you bought it from an influencer who took the time out of their day to pay you attention. The DNA shift is energetic before it's physical. DNA isn't just genetic within our vessel because its database is holding our spiritual memory. When herbs are misused or chosen without spiritual discernment, they lower your vibration, confuse your identity, and make your energetic field programmable to external systems like AI, media, or Luciferian chaotic orders. Transhumanism begins with gender disconnection. Before they replace our bodies inside of and with machines again, they will disconnect you from your divine polarity. A man that isn't sure if his masculine core is going to be more likely to accept artificial control. That's exactly why many people who follow me and you follow her, you are still under her mind control, but you still follow me. Unfollow me. I can't relate to you because you're unconscious. You're following your idol and you're worshiping their ignorance. And then you think that you're conscious? And you act like I won't know that you're still unconscious promoting consciousness? Stop it. A woman out of touch with her softness becomes hostile to divine union and will do anything she can to push it away. Balanced energy equals spiritual immunity. The goal isn't to be in an extreme position for your masculinity or femininity, because it's about aligning both within your harmony. But this harmony must be natural, not manufactured by trends and sayings and big words that get you to fall for buying a product. Once you realign with your original essence, false teachings lose power over you. Now, let's get into the gematria, because we don't even have to look at a video of Yahki Awakened Exposed. We don't, because I doubt that. Because once again, the being she's smart for how she moves, because she knows that a lot of us are able to understand. Wait, what teaching was that? A lot of us are able to understand her works, and she's not going to move like that. Was this? Okay. But yeah, she won't be the one to maneuver in telling on herself. But that's the thing though. Freemasons will always do that, especially when they're trying to be spiritual or conscious. That's the contradiction right there. Let's get into the actual gematria though. Yahki Awakened reached 1 million followers on Instagram. So we got 4 ciphers right here: 536-3216-1072-536. And you already should know, if you're new here, welcome to the family. If you made it this far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. Now, in these 4 ciphers, understand, every time we read gematria, excuse me, it's like we're looking into a crystal ball. It's like we're looking into a black hole as the observer. And we're reading I don't want to say linear, we're reading the numerical alignment for what the spirit projects physically upon the vessel that the being is masqueraded into identifying with. We are in matrix simulation. We are to learn to love each. I do agree with that. That's why I put that, because no matter what, I still love these deceitful beings because they're a reflection of my deceit if I was to choose to act in that way. The radio and TV support the immoral pandemic deception. Literally, that's exactly why, too, social media is a new TV. So when the beings, and of course, who gave you that? Who gave you that vision to see somebody through a screen, a Black Mirror screen, through Obsidian, through Wicca, through all these different witchcraft practices? Who gave you that? Who gave you that visible light spectrum to actually see ignorance in? Aborted babies are being processed into foods, drinks, and vaccines, and the herbs as well. Because I highly doubt that if you're going to be promoted by Big Pharma, I doubt that you would speak up on what's going on as a doctor. Because why would a doctor expose the sinister acts being done to the herbs that are promoted into society? It's like, why would you expose what the cure is when the cure has wicked barriers that people decide to digest? AI needs an update to warning about Jewish subversion. And the thing is, too, I doubt that AI will even cause us to want to learn that warning. Because with this subversion, these beings right here, and the thing is, Jewish people do not exist. You are always going to be a Caucasian. You are not different. Stop it. But if they were to update that, then this subversion would cause not only just this being or beings who like you and I to be unconscious to the warning, but the AI will not warn us about the subversion that's ran by Jewish fraternities and sororities. The elect will always seek the truth wherever it is, meaning that the beings, so us quantum energies, by us being at the elect, we will always seek out what the truth is no matter where it is. No matter what we do, no matter what we see, every single day, we always understand that we are searching and withstanding and understanding what the truth is and never was. Because of that, we are comfortable living in bliss. But that bliss can still keep us descended down to a lower way of consciousness. So how are you able to rebuild and orchestrate your spirit into becoming a better version of yourself? Wake up now so you will not be left behind with Satan. How is it that our ancestors, the past version of our future self currently, how is it that we sent a message through numerology or astrological numerical values in the English language, their language, by the way? How is it that we were able to promote this message to the future to where now, to this day, we are still trapped and consumed by satanic forces? Wake up now so you will not be left behind with Satan. So if you're infatuated with these influencers, you'll be left behind. There is no revelation for you. There is no beings transcending into a higher version of what heaven looks like. No, sir. Whenever it's time for you to perish, you will come right back into the reincarnation of your own suffering. The more in fear they are, the more evil their minions get. Because if you can cause humanity to be fearful of what they don't know, then the minions will be able to become more evil. Because it's like, now this practice that I'm doing, because evil does not exist, first of all. Because for one, evil does live through you. Not only just that, evil does not know how to be evil. So it decides to put fear into somebody. And then when you do that, you think that it's working for you. So you keep doing the practice. And then you keep promoting the agenda of what the practice can't live up to. The clay vessels with a serpentine consciousness. That's self-explanatory right there. Human beings don't exist, but you are the observation observing yourself to a human experience. Human beings do not exist, but you are the observation of a human being experiencing the human experience. But as a human, what are you experiencing if you're not human? Unclean spirits be silenced and come out of all people now. And the thing is, they're not going to, the vampires or the energy leeches, they're not going to escape from their silence, because their silence is consent. That's exactly why they won't tell you what they're doing, because they're getting paid for lying to you. One more chance, meaning stop that shit and expose it also. And that's the problem. I'll be giving people chances, but at this point, no, I'm tired of hoarding information. It's like, no, excuse me. It's like, no, at this point, let's get to it. Let's get to it. It's the fourth quarter. To me, every day is the fourth quarter. So it's like, I got shots to put up. People think that what they're doing is supposed to benefit society. All you're doing is keeping society dumbed down to where you belong. Occultists work together and are equally guilty. What do you gotta do to be a herbalist or a doctor? Or get a PhD in this or that? And the thing is too, Saturn, because with Saturn alien occultism, because I know they're not gonna tell us, but let's see here. Saturnalia is based off the Roman god of Saturn, whom is the father of Zeus. So who's the father of Lucifer? Hey Jesus, how you doing, Zeus? There had been some debate on whether Kronos was the god of time, so Saturn, or the father of Zeus, the god who ate his own children. In our modern times, the two gods have merged as one greater god, a dark god that rules over everything and everyone. How is it that they know this? Because a spirit would never say that. So how are you able to put this in English and then we embrace that teaching? You can't make this stuff up. We look at art and consume it. We ingest movies and we spout about popular culture without any look at how it is affecting us. Simply put, we do not recognize that we have been worshiping a religion that is far darker and more confusing than our understanding or overstanding has allowed us to see. We worship a religion all around the world that we call Saturnalia. It's easy to see why there is some architectural intimidation among some Christians when it comes to Jewish faith. Yeah, I ain't finna go into that. But, so, oh shit, no, I need to read that. There's a major connection between Judaism and Greek mythology that continued on in upper circles among the elite, leading to some Illuminati beliefs. The divine right of kings is the belief of all ruling royalty that there is a divine connection between themselves and that of God. Unlike populations that existed in Europe from the medieval era to mid-1900s, the elite kept their own traditions of worshiping multiple gods while teaching the population to fear only one. The month was a celebration full of some hedonistic practices as well as sacrifices to this god during midwinter in order to be gracious and have Saturn return with an abundance of food and protection during this time. Okay, but even with Saturn though, because so Kronos, or the god of time, or Saturn has frozen us in a time keeper, meaning that they keep our time linear, literally. And time is not linear. That's the sad part. In the one dimension, in the first dimension, it was a line. They drew it. Just drew it straight. They said, our goal is to box them in to a 3D cube that comes from out of this world. Then a two dimension, now you got the line, but it goes up and down. Now with the third dimension, now you got all these things around as a square or a shape, and you're squaring the circle at this point, so that chaos cannot be out of order. You have been here before, we just made sure you forgot. That's their goal. They made sure you forgot by doing what? Consuming their herbs, so that you may think that they're healing you, but this healing does not come from you. It comes from what you allow them to do to you. Recalibrate all DNA of all existing beings to a functional balance. Recalibrate. They're going to make sure to alter your DNA into any being that wants to buy their product, and then the balance that you should have been functioning in will now be imbalanced. You may be feeling like you're a man who's high and mighty, you're confident, you take his herbs or any other influencer's herbs. You don't know what's in it, but you trust it because it's them. But you don't know what's going on with your spirit. But every time you consume it, you may feel as if you're doing good with yourself, life is going great the whole entire time. You are putting yourself in damnation. Our alleged government is a Jewish scripted soap opera. That's self-explanatory right there. Like what's going on with Boss Man D-Lo. I mean, it's in her name as well. Down low, Boss Man. Telling you that whenever all these beings are getting humiliated, it's just all soap opera. People are watching reality TV on social media, and celebrities are the mediators into selling themselves an entertaining perspective for life. These are the laws against what you people are doing to us. Oh, there are laws against what you people are doing to us. And they feel as if they're above the law because they pledged allegiance to a occultic group that's still going to enslave them after this world. Jewish Talmud allows sex with 3-year-old girls. And why do you think they want to kidnap our genomes, our genome or genetic makeup? Why do you think that is? Because if you can kidnap or traffic a child, boy or girl, and you ape them, you take advantage of them, excuse me, when you do that, you can shift, so it'll be so traumatizing to where now the being will want to forget what happened. It's like you make them grow up way faster than what they should have been grown up in. It's like they should have stayed a child, but once you put that trauma to that child and you don't decide to eat them or kill them or whatever, or put them into food, you shift your mind into their body because you want to see their divinity, because it makes you feel immortal again. These beings are parasites. They need a vessel. That's exactly why the clay vessels with a serpentine consciousness. There are beings, skin shifters, quantum leapers, or astral walkers, lower parasites who are feeding the bounty hunters. These beings are taking our bodies and shifting our consciousness. I'm going to keep saying that till the day I die. Because people still don't get this spiritual warfare. Numbers don't lie, but people use them to make a gigantic lie. Why is it that Yahki Awakened hasn't taught you Gematria yet? But you're woke or conscious. It's like, stop. Numbers don't lie, but people use them to make a gigantic lie. Our hospitals are owned by Judeo-Masonic Satanists. And yet, people still go to them. Because it's reliable, it's convenient, it's right there. They can help me. But yet you still got to pay to get help. Why? Somebody gets into a car crash or they get shot and you got to pay for that hospital bill. Was waiting for him to tell the truth and set us free. And yet, my people aren't free and we still don't know the truth. So why are we waiting for him? What are we waiting for? Shit, I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting here waiting like, hey, you about to expose what you doing to my people, or you just gonna keep on on social media? Say less. Today's the day. I'm tired of it. Revered ancient cybernetic goddess of modernity. And with that too, so the cybernetic goddess, let's go ahead and, because when I put things down, I haven't seen this chart in so long, because it's been like months, but I like these words. I like this research in words. Cyber. Yeah, I like that. What's this right here? An entity that is composed of both biological and technical elements. Oh, a cyborg is an organism that has been modified or enhanced by artificial technology. Hold on, no. Rose is a short form of cybernetic organism, which is an entity made up of both biological and technical elements. Artificial intelligence, bionics, cognitive science, control theory, complexity, science, computer science, information theory, and robotics. Even back then, I knew what I was doing. That's crazy. Because I put this down, I kid you not, months ago, when I was doing her Gematria. This right here is the reason why I put it. But I didn't really understand the wordplay right here. So as I grow up, constantly learn about my choices, I understand that a revered, reversed, ancient, cybernetic, cyborg goddess of hyper-modernity. So let's look up hyper-modernity. Oh my God. But I need to know this word. An object is by definition non-composable towards attributes, and no one attribute of an object can act as a proxy for the object itself. What? It's a state in society where the belief is that our technology and advance in medicine and so on is... Nah. So I need to do this, I want to do this research in front of y'all so we can know. It's a stage in society where the belief... Get this shit out of here. Hold on. All right. Modernity. Okay. It's a stage in society where the belief is that our technology and advance in medicine, knowledge, and so on is happening so quickly that history is an avowed indicator of our possible future. They ignore the established fact that history tends to repeat itself. That's a fact. While they focus on the concrete advances in medicine, for example, and ignore society's tendency towards war, famine, and discrimination. Reason is held in higher esteem than modernity. The belief is that we can improve not only individual choices, but also the amount of freedoms they have. Women pro tennis players now get equal pay to men pro tennis players. This is an advancement that back in the day was considered unheard of. Medical advancements that have come so quickly that we went from not really having much of a cure for cancer to being able to cure even rare blood cancers. We went from two-pronged prosthetic hands to a science or sci-fi like hand with all 5 digits working almost like a real hand. Transhumanism. This person is basically explaining transhumanism. On top of that, the cure for cancer wouldn't cure cancer because they're still going to eat cancer. People or families will still eat cancer. So it's like there is no cure for cancer until you cure what you should be fasting from. It's just with hyper-modernity. Even though the thought is that if you breathe, you can and will have more choices and more freedoms, the reality is that the deaf, blind in the United States of America are left behind. We lack the specific teachers that they need, while England has over 24 of these teachers. All of England fits inside Minnesota. Back around 2010, all of North America only had 3 of these specialized teachers. The rich are getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. And the rich stay rich by eating the poor. The cost of living increase is faulty and has never ever kept up with the true cost of living. The government is still paying 1970s or 1980s prices for 2015 costs. Organic food, better medical care, and safer neighborhoods are something that is out of reach for the poor in most cases. And on top of all this, very few people who have the means to change this actually care. Excuse me. That's a fact though. That's a fact. Very few people who have the means to change this actually care, because why would they care about your suffering? When you still pay to heal your suffering, that's going to always be insufferable. Excuse me, the jobs for those with a lower IQ have been done away with in favor of machines. AI is going to teach your kids. So don't be surprised in Georgia, Florida, California, it's already in Texas, but Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, New York is going to be, it'll be a widespread virus that's going to get people to be more acceptable into being enslaved by AI. We were promised new jobs to compensate. Instead, we have more people on disability than the government can handle. And most of those people on disability could work if the jobs existed. Thus, I look at hyper-modernity with some pause. On one hand, we are making advances very quickly. On the other hand, insurance refuses to pay the cost of the better medical treatments we have now. In way too many cases, the poor are struggling, the disabled are struggling, the rich are so filthy rich that they rule the world at our expense. At our expense. They can drink and drive and get away with it as long as they didn't kill anyone. We get sentenced to prison with the low-lifers who steal. The rich get sentenced to their rich homes of luxury. See, Paris, I can afford to hire a limousine company to take me home, but I'm going to drive drunk anyway because daddy can bail me out. Hilton's famous court case and sentencing. It was pathetic. One state does have their silly rules that allow one guy to be sentenced to prison over a 1,330 times. I would have thrown out the key on him ages ago. This is as best as I can do on this subject. I hope this helps. Alright. Facts about the jinn that should make everyone wake up. The jinn was going to do that too. So I want y'all to be able to, with this video, I want you to be able to take home something that you're able to contradict. An intelligent spirit of lower rank than the angels are able to appear in human and animal forms and to possess humans. We don't wrestle with flesh and blood, but with principalities, virtues, dominions, sirens, all these different entities or these specimen demons or spirits. They're hiding in plain sight. And how did the Arabs know about that? How did the Arabs in their root, how did they know about this and then teach us that? Don't forget in Aladdin with genie. So you had the blue genie and the red genie. They had to tell you. They can also manipulate reality and are best known for their ability to possess people. In fact, jinn are very similar to demons in this respect. According to these legends, it is very bad news for a jinn to fall in love with someone. That's what they're able to do. They're able to possess our bodies and shift our consciousness into a lower way of seeing what they're doing to us. Jew world order implodes coming to a theater near you. And as you can see, we are under that world order right now. I am connected with power beyond Satan's comprehension. Are we surprised? That's how I knew. When I asked those 12 questions and I was blocked, that's when I realized this being is connected with a power beyond Satan's comprehension. Luciferian. Yahweh is an artificial intelligence in Saturn's matrix, and people still say they praise Yahweh. If you say, all thanks to Yahweh, or Yahweh this, Yahweh that. You're basically giving worship to artificial intelligence that is harvested by Saturn's black hue. One unfolded, put your higher self on the cross. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. That's going to be part 2. So if you enjoyed this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. And if you made it this far, comment down below. I affirm healing for all beings that are doing great works. Comment down below. I am saying a lot. I think I just forgot what I just said. No, I didn't. I am affirming healing to all beings doing works for the, I want to change it. I am affirming healing to all beings doing works for the betterment of society and the observation of evil acts that live through the good of humanity's ego. I am affirming healing to all beings doing works for the betterment of society and the observation of evil acts that live through the good of humanity's ego. I want to be able to contradict that because we want to also affirm, because we're not just one-sided here. We got to affirm and push and promote love to evil and good acts or actions that we are embedded into acting upon if we chose to do so. But since we choose to promote love and higher awareness for teachings that have false and light acknowledgement, we had to acknowledge the good and bad side of duality that they have promoted into being normal. I am affirming healing to all beings doing works for the betterment of society and the observation of evil acts that live through the good of humanity's ego. If you made it this far, comment down below. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in to a video. 10 likes, or I'll say 10 to 20 likes, part 2. Have a great, wonderful day, Divine Reflection.